The 2017 Tony-winning Best Musical Dear Evan Hansen is about to embark on its first national tour. Playbill got a taste of what fans across the country will find when they see Dear Evan Hansen on stage.
It'll be fascinating to see how the show changes and morphs depending on where it is. And I'm just kind of fascinated to see what that process is going to be like.
You know, Benj and Justin's songs are so well known and so well loved. I think what's new for us now is we're going to encounter a lot of audiences who have experience with the recording. And I remember when I was a kid, the actual opportunity I had to move from the play I made in my head to actually the one that was on the stage was so extraordinary. And I think we look forward to a lot of people having that experience.
With an entirely new cast, Tony-nominated director Michael Greif wanted the new batch of actors to cast their own lenses on each of the characters, including Ben Levi Ross, who understudied the role on Broadway and now leads the tour as Evan full-time.
I am so grateful to have been an understudy as my first professional job, and then having the privilege to be able to develop a character, one that I already have become very familiar with in a different sense, on my own, has been extraordinary. When I was first thinking about Evan, when I first approach any character, I really like to see my similarities where Ben Ross and Evan Hansen meet, and our differences, and how I can find the similarities to my differences.
I grew up very much like Zoe. I feel very connected to Zoe, so it doesn't feel too different from myself, which is good, which is easy. So putting my own stamp on it doesn't feel too hard, which is great.
Reverberating with emotional resonance, the piece particularly hits home for actors playing parents who have kids of their own.
As a mother, what you start realizing is that when your child is experiencing something wonderful, you did that. And when they're experiencing something horrible, it's your fault. I could have fixed that. I mean, all of that, it's maddening. And certainly that's what she's doing. She's always thinking about the other person and always wanting to make their lives better.
Started rehearsing, got to the scene where Heidi sends Evan off to his first day of his senior year in high school. And I had to stop rehearsal and tell everybody that I was having this incredibly meta experience, like, you guys, as if that had never happened to anyone before.
Life is life. When you have kids, you just start living it on a whole different level.
Still, it's Benj Pasek and Justin Paul's score audiences are clamoring to hear live, and the cast couldn't wait to sing on day one.
Yeah, well, it was a couple of things. One, it was really interesting to see people come in like knowing all their songs, so they hadn't learned them yet, but everybody kind of knew their stuff, and so they were like performing them to various degrees, and like some people randomly knew like all their harmonies.
That first rehearsal, that first day, we sang You Will Be Found, and it was just like, wow. Other than that, it's really high. We love singing it.
Unlike Broadway, the company of Dear Evan Hansen's tour will be living and traveling together like the families they portray on stage. Would that lend an extra dimension on the road?
I think it's yes. I think that something like that always helps a company. And I think there's something to be said about, like, you know, when you're spending that much time with a group of people, you just come to trust each other. And that trust, I think, is very visible on stage.
As they pack their bags, the creators can't wait for more audiences to experience the musical, and the stars are excited to bond with a new crop of fans.
I've never been to the West Coast, so I'm really excited to go there.
Just being able to come close to home and then go around the country is going to be a blast.
I'm excited to, bring them something that I'm pretty sure they're going to love. So I'm just happy to be, giving them something that hopefully they'll love.
The message they're bringing with them?
That perfect lyric where she says, I will. Yeah, I will.
You're you, and that's enough.